Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Remad Custom Ninja Master. This is basically a third-party, unlicensed, unauthorized Racial Ghul figure. Remad Custom previously made a Dark Knight Trilogy Bane. It is pretty good quality, so I'm looking forward to this. I pre-ordered this from 1/6 Kit. It's a website that specializes in these type of things. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the front, 1/12 scale. Remad Custom logo. Ninja Master. Here he is on the front. You can see the Liam Neeson version of Racial Ghul. One side package, it says Ninja Master 1/12 scale Racial Ghul collectible figure. I'm surprised it actually says that. Most of the time they'll just leave it at Ninja Master because they're not allowed to call it Racial Ghul. Backside we have a warning. 1/12 scale Racial Ghul. At the bottom, no barcode. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He has a very complex display stand. We have 10 alternate hands, totaling 12 interchangeable hands. A gas mask. He's got a scarf. And then he has his cane, which can open up into a sword. Very cool accessories. Before I load on, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Racial Ghul, or Henry Ducard, played by Liam Neeson in Batman Begins. The figure is officially called Ninja Master. And I'll tell you, so far I am extremely impressed. The accessories are fantastic. I really like that little cane thing that opens up to the sword. The gas mask. The likeness is fantastic. The figure's not too small. So far, so good. So let's take a closer look. So, starting with his face here, I think the likeness to Liam Neeson is excellent. The hair looks good, a little bit of gray in his temple. He's got that signature goatee, the gray in it. They even included that gem in his tie. What a good attention to detail. Absolutely fantastic. The cloth soft goods, it's not too tight, not too loose. It looks like it sits just right. Maybe it looks a little stiff. I imagine articulation is probably a little rough, but honestly, look at that. That's not bad. Goes up about that far. Very, very nice. He's got glove hands and flesh hands. Dress shoes, double jointed knee. So far I'm extremely pleased with what I'm looking at. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which I think looks excellent. I think the face sculpt looks great like Liam Neeson, and I love that little gem on his tie. And here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories. So we have this display stand, and it has a ton of different parts. You even have extra pieces, so you can hold all the different hands and heads at the same time. I'm not really into display stands, so it's not for me, but it has a lot of different options. And if you want to keep all the accessories together and display on his figure, that's for you. Now let's check out his hands. He has a total of 12 of them. 6 left hands and 6 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists, and each set of hands has both a pair with black gloves on, or no gloves and flesh colored. And here's his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. And his final pair of hands. This is a pair of default hands. They would look good relaxed at his sides. Now we have his gas mask for the end of the film when he was going to release his fear toxin across Gotham City. It's going to wrap around his head. It's got sort of a little bit of stretchy band around the back, and then the gas mask for the front. Here's Racial Ghul with the gas mask on. Very well done. Fits nicely. McFarlane made a similar gas mask with their Brayfogle Batman recently, and that thing was a pain in the ass to take on and off. Now for his scarf. He had this black scarf around his neck when he approached Bruce Wayne at his party. It's pretty much a black scarf. It does have a bendy wire in it, so it can take different shapes, different poses, and I appreciate that. It can be a handy accessory. Here's Racial Ghul with that scarf wrapping on his neck. Honestly, I'll probably just display him without it. Here's his final accessory, and I think this thing is so cool. This is his cane that he can sort of open up and take his sword out of. No one has ever made this thing before, and he used in the film a couple different times. So first of all, we have his cane here. Black cane. It's got a little extra piece on both sides. And in the movie, he would take the cane and then pull it apart, exposing the sword. And then we have this part here, which is sort of, I guess, the shell or the sheath. You can still probably be used as a cane. And then you have the other part here, which, as you can see, it has a sort of cane handle there, and then it's got the blade of a sword. Now, it would be really cool if this was an actual functioning sheath and you could put them in, but it doesn't work that way. Still, I really appreciate getting this. This is the weapon that he fought Batman with on the train at the end. Batman uses gauntlets, broke in half, and then stabbed the train controls with it, causing it not to be stopped. Here's Ra's al Ghul using this as a cane. And here he is, as he just took his sword out of the cane. Here's a look at Ra's al Ghul wielding a sword. Few have seen this and lived to tell about it. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 6.6, maybe 6.7 inches tall, which could translate to just under 17 centimeters. And earlier when I said he's not too small, I prefer a 7-inch scale, but for these third-party 1/12 scale cloth soft goods figures, I prefer about 6.5 inches tall. Fitness him with Mezco pretty good. He's pretty much exactly the height I want him to be. And for his articulation, starting with this head, of course, you're going to rotate side to side. He can look up and down about that far, not bad. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. He does seem to have articulation at the top of the neck and the bottom of the neck. Shoulders, ball joint goes out a good 90 degrees. Goes up about this far before the suit stops letting go up, which is pretty nice for a suited body. It fits tight, it's not bulky, and it allows him to move a ton. Very well done. Feels like he's got a butterfly joint instead of there. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. Once again, the suit lets it go all the way in, and it doesn't really wrinkle up too much. Very, very nice. The wrists can rotate, and it's hinged. His torso, he's got a ball joint in the middle, rotate around, forward and back the tiniest bit. In his waist, another ball joint, kind of tight, rotates around, forward and back a lot more. Legs, they only go about this far, pants kind of restricting that. Then go forward, not that much, about that far, and guess a little more. I'm just not wanting to push it too hard. Out like that, back not much. He's got a little bit of rotation going on, double jointed knees, and the ankle. Forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock. Here's a look at Ra's al Ghul leading his League of Shadows into battle. A little bit more spread out look, so you can see this Remad custom Ra's al Ghul leading the Mafex League of Shadow Ninjas. Now let's check him out. Next is some of their action figures, starting off with some of the Ra's al Ghul figures. Here he is, next to the Mattel Movie Master version of this Ra's al Ghul. Same outfit, based off sort of the same scenes. And then, next to a Mafex Ra's al Ghul, this is actually a Ra's al Ghul head onto a John Wick body. Mafex only released Ra's al Ghul with the ninja outfit, but I decided to make my own version. Like I said, this is how they released Ra's al Ghul, but I decided to use that guy as an army builder and make my own Ra's al Ghul in this outfit, and I think it worked out pretty good. And here he is, next to a Soap Studios Ra's al Ghul. This is a 1/12 scale cloth soft goods figure as well, although it's him in the ninja outfit, not the suited body. Here he is, next to a few different Mattel figures of the Liam Neeson, Henry Ducard, or Ra's al Ghul in his ninja training outfit. Then, with a couple of Mattel Bruce Wayne figures in the same League of Shadows and ninja training outfits. Then, with a couple of Mattel fake Ra's al Ghul figures. Here he is, next to some McFarlane DC Multiverse Ra's al Ghul figures. I'm hoping and expecting that they're going to make a Batman Begins version, and hopefully they'll make a ninja version so you can army build them. And here, with all my DC Direct Ra's al Ghul figures. Then, with all my Mattel Ra's al Ghul figures. On the far left, we have the DC Universe Classics, then a custom version, then the Movie Master, and then a few smaller Batman Begins figures. And now, with a couple of older Kenner Ra's al Ghul figures. Here he is, with all of my Talia al Ghul figures. Now, this first one here is just another figure I thought would make for Talia and some of her first appearance types looks. Arkham City Talia, a custom DC Universe Classics one I made. DC Direct animated, and then smaller Mattel animated. Here's Ra's al Ghul next to a custom Ubu. Here's Ra's al Ghul next to a couple of figures I use for Nyssa al Ghul, which is Talia's sister. On the left, a Ninja Turtle figure for 7-inch scale, and on the right, a Marvel Legends Elektra 6-inch scale. Here he is next to a Street Fighter figure that I use for the Sensei, another member of Ra's al Ghul's family. And here, with a couple of versions of Lady Shiva, who is often associated with League of Shadows. On the left, from DC Direct. On the right, a custom I made a long time ago. Then, with a figure that I use as one of Ra's al Ghul's lieutenants, his right-hand man. It's a Hasbro Marvel Legends Loki, but I put that Demon's Head mask on him, and I think it looks great, the color scheme and all. This NECA Pirates of the Caribbean figure I thought looked like the fake Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins. Next, with a couple of DC Direct Ninja Man-Bat figures, Ra's al Ghul made an army of Ninja Man-Bats in the Son of Batman storyline, and now, with a custom Count Vertigo, and a couple of custom League of Shadows members from Batman the Animated Series. Now let's check him out with some other League of Shadows members, or various ninjas. Here he is with 3 different DC Direct Nightfall Mask of Tengu figures. I mostly use these as Lady Shiva henchmen, but they work for League of Shadows members as well. Here's Ra's al Ghul with some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Gen Yu figures. I use these for Talia's Elite Guard. Here's Ra's al Ghul next to 16 DC Direct Arrow, Malcolm Merlin, Dark Archer figures. These are League of Shadows members and are perfect army builders. That group is consisting of Malcolm Merlin, which is a leader of this branch of the League of Shadows. Here's my suited civilian version of Malcolm Merlin, businessman by day, assassin by night. Here he is next to 5 DC Direct Arrow TV show Dark Archer figures. Dark Archer turned out to be Malcolm Merlin, and turned out to be a League of Shadows member, and that is what all the League of Shadows ninjas wore in Arrow. Perfect army builder. And here he is with 5 more DC Direct Dark Archer figures. I did some head swaps, and we have some ninjas without hoods. And then 5 more DC Direct Dark Archer figures. I did head swaps with the Malcolm Merlin unmasked version with the hooded ones, and made several different types. Here he is next to a couple of Soap Studios Ra's al Ghul figures. One was a deluxe edition that came with a ninja mask. So only one of them can really be a Ra's al Ghul, and one can be a League of Shadows member. Then, with a bunch of Makefix Ra's al Ghul figures, I use these as League of Shadows members. Then, with a bunch of Hasbro Marvel Legends Ronin figures from the Avengers. And finally, back before there were a lot of options, I used a lot of these Mattel Movie Master figures as League of Shadow members, various ninjas. They're mostly made from the prototype Bruce Wayne suit and some Batman suits. Like I said, there were absolutely no options for army building and ninjas back in the day. And let's not forget, the current Robin, Damian Wayne, is Ra's al Ghul's grandson and was raised by the League of Shadows. Here's Ra's al Ghul with the only other Remad custom figure that I have. This is Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. It's a really good, high-quality figure, but has some flaws. I'd say Ra's al Ghul overall is a better figure. Very, very well done. I look forward to whatever these guys are coming up with next. Now let's check him out. Next is some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since this is a Remad custom figure, it's a 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines that I collect, and work with larger. Here he is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures, and some SH Figure Arts action figures. And now, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends and Mayfix figures. Here's Ra's al Ghul, next to a jar of Alfredo sauce. And here he is, with some Mattel and Mezco DC figures. Then, with both some Jazzwares and Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some NECA and DC Direct figures. Next, with some Diamond Select toys and Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. And finally, with some McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. So overall, this is a fantastic Ra's al Ghul figure. Very, very pleased with what Remad Customs has provided for us. The size is about perfect. Scales up with Mezco figures. Excellent. About 6.5 inches tall, maybe a little bit taller than that. The articulation is fantastic. I can't believe how well they balanced the cloth soft goods suit, not looking baggy and still being articulated. His accessories are also fantastic. Tons and tons of hands, The gas mask is very well done, and I love the cane and sword accessory. That thing has never been done before, and it's Ghul's sort of signature weapon in the film. The likeness is also fantastic. Spot on, it looks like Liam Neeson. I'd say my only complaints about this guy would be, it'd be nice if he had a second head with maybe a surprise expression for when Batman came on the train. And it would have been great if the sword actually fit into the cane as a sheath. With that being said, if I were to rate this figure, I'd give him a very solid rating of a 9 out of 10. A very high rating in my book. As far as I'm concerned, there's never going to be a figure that gets a 10 out of 10. There's no such thing as a quote-unquote perfect figure. There's always going to be something that can be improved upon. So a 9.5 is pretty much the highest rating I can possibly give. And giving this guy a 9 is a pretty bold statement. It's a fantastic action figure. I like him a lot. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to save the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.